I'm Christine Barron, and you probably know me from being a part of the music ministry here at Holy Redeemer. I am fortunate enough that I have been coming to this parish since the day I was born. So a good 28 years, so my whole life. Grew up, Catholic, I guess you would say cradle Catholic, was raised with the faith, and I have 3 sisters and a brother. Very faithful in our family, I would say. We prayed every night. My parents always made God a part of our lives. So kind of going back to family, although things were really, really blessed in our childhood, there were some moments where, and this was all right around the time I was in the first 3 years of college. I was struggling with my mental health. I was struggling really bad with anxiety and depression. I didn't really know it yet, but it was always kind of there. And I started, when I first went into college, I got really lost. And I stopped really getting involved. I would go to church, I would go through the motions, but I wasn't really invested. I was involved in some really sinful relationships and kind of seeking love in all the wrong ways. I just was so lost. I felt like there was like a cloud kind of over my head.
Bring all your failures, bring all your worries, bring your addiction.
And it was at that time in college, actually, I was introduced to my husband. He was a friend, but I didn't really know a lot about him, but he was a friend. He was a caregiver for one of our friends, Scott. And Scott had full body quadriplegia, and he would come to Oakland. He would come to Oakland Center to meet friends. So I would do music with Scott eventually. I would start doing music, and I'd go to the choir at Oakland, and I loved music. I knew I loved music. And so God there was planting the seed. There was a moment where I had gotten in a really bad car accident. I had slid on the freeway on ice, and I had kind of 360'd and then flipped. I remember thinking, I don't want to die right now. I don't want to die. I don't want to go. I don't want to leave. I know my soul's not in a good place. And even then, as I'm flipped over, God rescued me. I had 0 bruises, 0 injuries. I was able to get out of that car.
You are invited to come.
And so I ended up taking a semester off. I worked for my dad at his job, and I ended up I was actually invited by Matt Bellinger and John Bellinger to go to the Newman Center. And it was at that moment I was invited. I was just invited to something, and I ended up meeting some wonderful people, friends that I still have now, I have these strong Catholic friendships that I feel so blessed by. And I prayed, God, send me some good friendships, send me some good people. And I ended up meeting these amazing people. I ended up getting some mentors through that experience of being at Newman Center. I feel like that was kind of a start of having faith and knowing what it is to be invited and to have these wonderful friendships that you can really feel God's presence in. And God was working. And it was also during that time that I realized through the playing music, backtracking with Scott. My friend Scott from Oakland, I had played music with him. He actually was getting music therapy, and I realized I wanted to go into music therapy. And I think that was the moment that God really kind of he helped me piece it all together, and I started realizing God had planted that seed through my friend Scott, through the Newman Center. God was pushing me to this new place, and it was so scary. I can't even tell you. I was so scared, and yet I am so happy now. I look at life then, and I look at life now, and God healed what I was dealing with, some of the anxiety and the depression, and He brought me to a career where I am ministering in my job. I feel so blessed that I get to minister. I get to minister on Sunday mornings through the music ministry here. And music, it healed me also. God used that as a tool for healing. I look at my life now, it's very peaceful. And I feel very blessed. And I think through all of these different moments, God kind of put me back together. Really, there was the idea of being rescued and kind of being molding me into this person that, I get to heal people. I mean, through his work, being a vessel, I get to use music as a way to heal people. And I have a wonderful husband. I'm, having a baby. And so just all of these beautiful things that I kind of look at, I'm like, God made all of this. And I'm very blessed for that.
All your transgressions, your thoughts.